I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And to every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright.
You know it's JEJE Vibe. Can you feel the vibe?
I'm feeling it.
You know it's JEJE Vibe. Welcome to JEJE Vibe. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. You know it's JEJE Vibe. You know I got the queen with me. Today, we're going to be looking into, like I always say, it's election season. So we're going to be looking at what is happening around.
The election shenanigans.
The election shenanigans. Let's check it out.
America decided to get back with their crazy ex and elect Donald Trump. No matter who you voted for, I think all Americans can agree it's going to be a rough Thanksgiving.
Late-night talk show hosts tried to keep the mood light as they reacted to Donald Trump winning re-election.
As a late-night host, people often say to me, come on, part of you has got to want Trump to win because he gives you so much material to work with. No. No one tells the guy who cleans the bathroom, wow, you must love it when someone has explosive diarrhea. There's so much material for you to work with. Come on.
As Jimmy Kimmel delivered an impassioned monologue, he began to choke up.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
How are you feeling today? It must be
horrible.
Quite difficult for you.
It's
to
horrible.
Be here. Yeah?
America has decided not. Everything has been laid out. The people have decided. Good luck to you all.
So what do you
That's
do
all
now?
I got.
What
I
do
have no idea. It's the first day. I have absolutely no idea. I've been crying all day. So I'm here. I have a face on. We're going to soldier on. I have no idea.
I think at this point in time, I really try to keep my focus on positive things being done, to talk about all of the wonderful innovations that our finalists are coming up with tonight. You know, I think, of course, you have to realise that politics is always going to come into play when you're talking about the environment, always. And I would say to weigh in on that would just be at any point in time, whenever you can, it's always best to vote with the planet in mind. And it's important that we all keep working together and try and make steps in the right direction. That's all we can do.
I think it's really important for us to keep the focus and the conversation on what the topic is. You know, like it's so easy to get distracted by so many other things, but what we're doing today is incredible.
Yeah, no, it's hard, especially, you know, in the context about the climate, but, you know, we want to stay positive, and today I want to just think about these amazing people and what they do. You know, they get up every day thinking and wrecking their brain on how they can solve all these different problems.
Here are all the celebrities that have spoken out about the results of the election so far. Billie Eilish posted on her story saying it's a war on women. Ariana Grande posted saying holding the hand of every person who is feeling the immeasurable heaviness of this outcome today. Elon Musk posted, the people of America gave Donald Trump a crystal clear mandate for change tonight. LeBron James posted a picture with his daughter Zuri with the caption, heavy on my heart and mind this morning, my princess. Promise to protect you with everything I have and more. We don't need their help. Phineas stated, he told you he'd rob the house and we unlocked the door. Mark Cuban congratulated both Donald Trump and Elon Musk for the win. Jack Antonoff posted a message saying, we turn to each other at the best times as we do at the worst times. You can pause to read the rest. Cardi B posted sharing her love and support for Kamala Harris despite the loss. You can pause to read. Christina Applegate asked, why? Give me your reasons why. My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away. Lily Reinhart stated, I cannot fathom the feeling of the women who came forward about their essay at the hands of Trump, seeing millions of people vote for their. My heart absolutely breaks for these women. I believe you and I am so sorry. Jeff Bezos congratulated Donald Trump and wished him a ton of success. Mandy Moore posted this to her story. Joe Rogan in disbelief that Donald Trump won. Simone Biles had a few things to say. You gotta be effing kidding me. I'm so sorry, America, and we deserved better. Andy Cohen said, so the election isn't rigged? And Jamie Lee Curtis posted a message to say that we need to wake up and fight.
There are so many questions for the Democrats to answer, but one of them, the one that's that I just saw that's going to be staring them in the face for some time if they don't do something about it, is that 45% of Hispanics voted for Donald Trump.
45.
We've all been talking about a new Republican Party. There needs to be a new Republican Party. This morning, this is about as bleak as any time for Democrats since the so-called 1984 San Francisco Democrats. It's time for the Democrats to take a good, long, hard look at how this happened. And if they just say Trump bad, Democrats virtuous, they're going to keep losing because this, again, is so widespread. This is not about just Donald Trump. This is about the Democratic Party and being radically disconnected from the rest of the country. Look at the map.
It was pretty red last night.
I don't know. I'm profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country, because I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons. Well, and so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I think
no fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear that he's going to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Well, I think it has to do with a lot of things, that being one of them. I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad. I was at the Kamala Harris headquarters yesterday in Washington, and it was a very sad scene. The mood turned immediately.
What they want least of all is to realize that half the country went to bed sad tonight, but then woke up tomorrow fired up with a new sense of purpose, knowing that apparently This is what we're on this earth to do as American citizens in this generation. Because history did not just end. Time did not just stop. We just got marching orders from the universe and the Electoral College that as of today, American citizens who do want to hold on to democracy, we know exactly what we're going to be spending the next days and weeks and likely years of our life working on.
I think when it's all said and done, what you're going to see is a huge divide over people who are college educated and not college educated.
Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. Pure Project 2025 in miniature in Florida. And that kind of extreme, sort of extremist, right-wing, fascist type government in Florida, does that make it a more attractive place?
Thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite, who are hurting tonight. There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months. And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt.
It's not that Trump won this nearly as much as the Democrats lost this election. They don't get it. Stop bragging about how CEOs love you and how you raised $1 billion, and that is corruption defined. Now, when it comes to Trump, look, guys, let's all hope that I'm wrong, but my guess is you're all going to be deeply disappointed. He's going to rob the place blind. Elon's going to rob the place blind. They're not real populists. They're going to give corporate tax cuts. They're going to do all the things that Democrats do. They're just going to be more clever about it. Their number one priority is going to be giant corporate tax cuts and corporate deregulation. So if I'm right about it, you guys will see he was never a populist. He was only looking out for himself.
This is a team win. We won, they lost. Every person in this room has a dream. My dream is that every child, I don't care the color of their skin, their religion, where they were born, has a chance to live the dream of this country. If that's true, it's a hell of a country. And that's what we're going to do. Our work is not done. Next week, we have another election. Senate Republican leader. We need a Republican Party to start solving the problems of this country, and we have a significant number of problems. Florida is the center of the Republican Party of this country. Washington could learn a hell of a lot from what we've done right here in this great state.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard-working man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family.
One of the greatest comebacks in political history, as many people put it to me last night. Think about this. A twice impeached, 4 times indicted, once convicted candidate now appears, or is at this point, the president-elect of the United States for a second time. And inside that Trump watch party headquarters, I noticed the first bubbles of excitement, of exuberance around 9 p.m. There was dancing full on the floor by 11 p.m. And after the network started projecting Pennsylvania and then Wisconsin in Donald Trump's favor, pure joy from his supporters. I asked people to summarize how they were feeling in one word. I got one person telling me fantastic, another relieved, still another vindicated. And then, of course, they heard from the now president-elect himself.
We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
The leaders of several U.S. allies, including France, the United Kingdom, Germany, Australia and Japan, have all sent fairly standard messages of congratulations to President-elect Trump. But here in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is notably enthusiastic, calling Trump's victory history's greatest comeback and saying, quote, "This is a huge victory." And that's perhaps not surprising given apparent strains in the relationship between Netanyahu and the Biden administration over the war in Gaza. Meanwhile, in Hungary, Prime Minister Viktor Orban also seems to be delighted, calling Trump's win a, quote, "much needed victory for the world." Now, Orban, as you know, is a far right-wing nationalist accused of undermining democracy, who has won praise from Donald Trump. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine has congratulated President-elect Trump, but because Trump has so frequently claimed that he would end the war in Ukraine quickly, many people in Ukraine and in Europe more broadly fear that Trump would actually cut off the supply of American weapons to Ukraine and even pressure the Ukrainians to negotiate a surrender of territory to Moscow.
President Zelensky of Ukraine saying congratulations before crucially adding, I appreciate President Trump's commitment to the peace through strength. So trying already to advocate that Donald Trump will support Ukraine. Russia's foreign ministry spokesman, Craig, saying hallelujah. And we've been speaking to Russian officials, also not authorized to speak on the record. One telling us less predictability is incoming. Another saying there was a chance for a truce or at least some kind of change. An Iranian spokesman saying US elections do not concern us and will not affect Iran's livelihood. So a very different perspective there from Iran.
Mr. Speaker, can I begin by congratulating President-elect Trump on his historic election victory. As the closest of allies, the UK and US will continue to work together to protect our shared values of freedom and democracy.
We congratulate President Trump for the victory, and we are looking forward to work with him, with the administration. We have major tasks ahead of us. The enemies of the United States are the enemy of Israel, and I'm sure we will continue to work together.
Dazu gratuliere ich ihm. Präsident Trump wird sein Amt in einer Zeit großer Herausforderungen und Krisen antreten. Deshalb hat eine Präsidentschaftswahl in den USA immer Auswirkungen über Amerika hinaus.
Están pues las noticias de que ganó el presidente Trump, pero de todas maneras nosotros vamos a esperar el día de hoy a que termine en algunos estados de contarse y poder dar ya el comunicado oficial.
The First Minister offered congratulations to the convicted felon Donald Trump on his re-election. Writing officially on behalf of the Scottish Government, he wrote that he is sure Scotland's cultural and social ties with the US will flourish during the presidency of a misogynist, a climate denier, a fraudster, a conspiracy monger, a racist, a far-right politician who tried to overturn an election result both covertly and by inciting violence. Words fail me. What social and cultural ties does the First Minister really think will benefit from a relationship with such a man?
I have a duty as First Minister of Scotland to engage with other governments and to represent the people of Scotland in that process. And as part of that duty, I wrote the letter in question that Mr Harvey cites. I think there are deep cultural, social and economic ties between Scotland and the United States of America. I think they're important. They're important for employment in our economy, they're important for the cultural expression of our country and for the way in which we are able to pursue those objectives. So, whilst there are very clearly, because of what I said before the presidential election, very big real differences in expression and in priority and in way of life between me and Donald Trump, I cannot deny the existence of links between Scotland and the United States.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. You know it's JJ Vibe. Drop your comment, let us know what you guys think about the video. And if you're new, subscribe.
Bye-bye now.
See you in the next one. JJ Vibe. You know.